Wait, am I supposed to be able to still hear you?
Yeah, do you have blood in the room?
Yes, we have 4 units.
Jack! Please! Oh, God.
Surgeries are routinely performed every day across the world. However, as we're about to show you guys, some pretty messed up mistakes happen all the time, and doctors definitely don't want to admit this. From amputating the wrong limb to performing a risky surgery on the wrong patient, you would be pleasantly surprised at how common this actually is. So the next time you're told that you need surgery, you might want to read the fine print and ask for a second opinion, because you never know what can go wrong while you're under the knife. I remember getting a teeth pulled, and I was telling them like 10 times what side of my mouth, the upper, the lower, the tooth is on, and I thought I told them the wrong tooth to pull, and the whole time I was feeling the pressure on the wrong tooth, and I was terrified. I was so terrified that I didn't even tell them, and after my tooth was pulled, I looked in the mirror, I was freaking out. Luckily, it was the right tooth. A quick story for you guys. Well, how's it going, you guys? I'm your host for this one, Landon Dowletsing, and welcome back to a brand new video. If you guys like what we do here and you want to become a part of the most amazing team, become a part of the most amazing family here on YouTube, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. We're closing in very closely to 6 million subscribers. And also, I just want to ask you guys, how's your day been going so far? Let me know in the comment section below. I love reading the comments. And also, make sure you guys stay tuned to the end of this video, because I have another surgery story, a personal surgery story of my own. So with all of that being said, this is the top 10 scary mistakes performed during surgery. Getting under the knife in at number 10, we're talking about a wrong-sided brain surgery. Okay, it has to be said, is this real life right now? I thought brain surgeons were some of the most trained, sophisticated, and educated doctors on the surgical staff. How can a neurosurgeon get confused between left and right? I'm gonna need to see his diploma, because I don't believe that he actually graduated from accredited university. Anyways, Regina Turner was scheduled to have a left-sided craniotomy bypass, but instead the surgeon went rogue and gave her a right-sided craniotomy surgical procedure. Did no one else in the OR find this concerning? Now she's unable to speak well, and she had to undergo a second surgery on the other side of her skull, because she still needs some freaking surgery because it wasn't done yet. Because of this fail, she now needs around-the-clock care, and obviously she's going to suffer from emotional distress, anxiety, depression for the rest of her life. It's a pretty sad story. A 13-inch Souvenir is up next at number 9. Back in June of 2000, a man went into the hospital to have a tumor removed from his abdomen. When he left the operating room, his tumor was gone, but a 13-inch metal retractor was left inside of him by mistake. I know mistakes happen, but come on, mistakes like this should never happen. This is a pretty big fail, and guess what? This isn't the first time that something like this has ever happened at a hospital. It's quite common. I'm not a medical expert or anything. Wouldn't it be helpful to double check or triple check the human cavity to make sure that you got all your foreign tools out of the body after you stitch them up? Do it count? Shouldn't this be surgery tips 101? Fortunately, surgeons were able to remove the retractor shortly after it was discovered, and the man didn't experience any long-term side effects. He was also awarded $97,000, but that seems way too little in my opinion. Like, did they just give him a small discount from the botched surgery? Surgeons leave 16 items inside of a man's body, and this scary story brings us to number 8. A 74-year-old man checked into a hospital in Germany to undergo surgery to treat his prostate cancer. The surgery appeared to be a success, except his pain kept getting worse as the months passed. He went to the emergency room when a nurse found a pad of gauze oozing from one of the surgery wounds. Just a reminder, this is definitely not normal, and this shouldn't be happening. In case you were wondering, he was taken back inside of the operating room, where the surgeons discovered 16 foreign items in his body that was left over from the original surgery. There was an entire roll of bandages, a compress, several gauze pads, a needle, and a part of a surgical mask. I mean, a surgical, like, how the heck does this happen? Aren't there a ton of people in the OR who monitor what tools are being used and what are being thrown out? This is absolutely terrifying, so let's move on. Let's see what else. Let's see what else we have on this list. Number 7, we have a patient who woke up during surgery. This is easily one of my worst nightmares. I can't imagine being in surgery and all of a sudden, whoop, just one eye just pops open and you're open up on the operating table. Well, a man from West Virginia underwent exploratory surgery to find out what was causing his abdominal pain. But during the operation, he said that he experienced a rare phenomenon known as anesthetic awareness, which is when a patient is able to feel pain, discomfort, and pressure during an operation, but is unable to move or communicate. Apparently, the anesthesiologist failed to give him the general anesthetic that would make him go unconscious. So basically, he was able to feel every slice, tugging, pulling, everything that goes on during a surgery. Unfortunately, this ordeal caused him to commit suicide because he was unable to cope with the trauma. A healthy vital organ was removed by mistake. What the heck did I just say? Well, this comes in at number 6. A patient had a tumor on one of her kidneys, so she was scheduled to undergo a surgery to remove the affected organ because the tumor was believed to be cancerous. Well, instead of removing the harmful kidney, the surgeons removed the healthy one. Is this real life right now? So now, this poor girl is living with one kidney that could potentially have a cancerous tumor on it. Guys, this video makes me never want to have another surgery in my lifetime. How does someone just remove a healthy and strong kidney? This makes absolutely no sense to me. I'm pretty sure there was a big lawsuit for this one, a big lawsuit for all of these ones on this list, and it's sad to say, but I think a lot of these happened in America. Number 5 takes us over to the wrong heart and lungs given to a patient. I can't even make this stuff up. This actually happened. A girl was illegally smuggled into the US by her parents because they wanted her to get medical treatment for her failing heart and lungs. Well, in 2003, she was scheduled to have a transplant operation at the Duke University Hospital. But guess what? Surgeons used organs from a donor with the wrong blood type. Her body rejected the organs and she suffered from a pattern of seizures and ended up on life support. 2 weeks later, they tried the operation again, this time with the organs from a compatible blood type. But unfortunately, it was too late at this time. The damage was already done and 2 sets of precious organs were wasted. Surgeon amputates the wrong leg during surgery, and this brings us to number 4. A surgeon found himself in deep doo-doo when he amputated the healthy leg of a 52-year-old man instead of removing the diseased leg. The doctor was cutting the wrong leg when a nurse was looking through the paperwork, and she started to cry. It was when the doctor realized that he had been working on the wrong leg. He even refused to take responsibility. He said that the blackboard in the operating room listed the wrong leg for amputation, and so did the operating room schedule and a hospital computer. His license was suspended after the botched surgery, but when he came back to the OR, he removed a patient's toe without their consent. I don't know, but it sounds like something else is going on with this guy. I think he needs to go back to med school or take up a new profession, one that doesn't involve cutting people. You know, one that doesn't involve much. Let's just make this guy's life just simple, like coloring books or something. Next up on our list, number 3, we have a surgeon who removed the wrong organs. Is this the brother of the last guy? A woman in the UK went to the hospital complaining of abdominal pain. After several tests, it was discovered that she had appendicitis, and so she was going to go get her appendix removed. Well, that was the plan anyways, but the surgeon removed an ovary and a fallopian tube instead. He passed this off as a minor mistake and blamed it on his poor vision. He went on to say that both organs kind of look the same. I mean, who is this guy and where did his license come from? You can't just assume that you're taking out the proper organ. This was apparently the 3rd botched surgery from this doctor within 2 years. And how many more botched surgery is he going to do before his license is revoked? I'm so confused with this story and I have to move on. Now at number 2, we have an unnecessary heart surgery. Medical staff at a hospital in South Africa made an 83-year-old woman undergo a heart surgery that was intended for another patient. This woman was at the hospital to have her respiratory infection treated, but instead she underwent a major heart surgery by mistake. She had the same doctor as the patient who needed her heart worked on, so I guess the doctor accidentally got the 2 mixed up. He even called her family to tell them that the heart surgery was a success. Yeah, it was a success because she already had a healthy heart. It was successful before it started. I read that the hospital didn't charge the patient for the heart surgery. I mean, wow, that's so kind of them. They should be paying her millions of dollars for their mistake. She literally could have died for absolutely no reason at all. And now, finally, at number 1, we have the wrong patient who underwent brain surgery. This happened more recently. It was back in 2018. A patient underwent brain surgery that was originally meant for another patient. Both men were taken to the hospital unconscious and kept in the same unit. Somehow, their ID tags got mixed up in the operating room One patient had a blood clot in his brain and the other just had a swollen head. Surgeons wheeled the patient with the swollen head inside of the OR, but they didn't realize that they had the wrong man until 2 hours later when they cut into the man and they couldn't find the clots. The neurosurgeon, the anesthesiologist, and 2 nurses were suspended, and as it turns out, the patient with the clot in his brain didn't end up needing surgery because he started to improve on his own. Well, at least something positive came out of this story. And you guys made it to the end of this video, and my personal surgery story is I had a microdiscectomy for my back, I had a slipped disc, and I had this like young surgeon who was a little bit cocky in my opinion. I underwent the knife, had the surgery, and I was told the chances of re-slipping my disc at my age is under like 5% or 1%. It's not possible. But after my surgery, I was supposed to be in almost no pain. It's almost like an on and off switch, but that's not how it worked for me. As soon as my surgery was over, I was in way more pain than I was before going into the surgery. And the surgeon who did the surgery came by, and I don't think he believed how much pain I was actually in. And I was on my way home, I was being sent home, I was in a wheelchair going out, and another surgeon saw me and said, hey, I think something is wrong because of the way you're moving. I was sent back to the bed, I was given an MRI, something in Canada you gotta wait like 3 months for. I was taken into the MRI and they found out I now have not 1 but 2 slip discs. So I don't think the first surgeon did anything. He might have made it worse. After the second surgery, it was a success. I came out with almost no pain. Well, this is the end of the video. I thought I would share a quick experience of my own in this video. It was pretty terrifying, the whole thing. But that's it for me, guys. I was your host, Landon Do Not Sing. And Landon, do not send me to another surgery again. And I'll see you guys all in the next most amazing top 10 video.